Good evening, humans. Tyrannosaurusmoth here, and tonight we're taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series Return of the Jedi Boba Fett figure. Now, Return of the Jedi is my personal favorite Star Wars film, and Boba Fett has been one of my favorite characters since way back in the mid-90s. I believe it all started when I saw I think it was an issue of Wizard, and it was like a one-page thing at the very back of the issue about Boba Fett, and just kind of why there was an appeal about him. And I knew nothing about the character at the time, beyond seeing him briefly on screen in the movies when I was much younger, but obviously didn't pick up on that. And then once I read that, I was like, yeah, why is he so interesting? And that just kind of started it. And all of a sudden, I have stand for Boba Fett the entire time. And the Return of the Jedi look is actually my favorite. And I'll go deeper into that in the next section. So without further ado, let's do this. Jumping right into aesthetics, and to put it plainly, Boba Fett looks great. Like, the paint apps are absolutely on point, the sculpt is fantastic, and the articulation helps that. Obviously more on that later, but for now, I mean, as I had said in the introduction, this is my favorite look for Boba Fett, at least currently. We'll see if Book of Boba Fett changes that at all, but for now, like, the red gauntlets with the whole green and tan, like, I think it breaks it up perfectly. It looks really nice. Everything's there. The mythosaur skull, and you know, the damage that you're used to seeing on the helmet and the armor. So just really well done. My only, I guess, gripe, if you want to say, it's not really a gripe, is they could have done the backpack could have been a little more dull in terms of the colors. It's a little bit bright, but barely. And actually, before I got this, seeing pictures of it, I thought, oh, okay, that's way too bright. But now that I have it in hand, it's definitely more weathered than I expected it to be, and it's nowhere near as distracting as I thought it was going to be. And that's to say, it's not distracting at all. So just really well done all around. Again, sculpt, paint, absolutely perfect. This is a deluxe figure, and actually there's a video from Spector Creative that went over why this is probably a deluxe release, beyond the accessories, and I'll link to that in the description, because I think you should watch that, because it's a great just kind of overview of why these things are approached in such a way. So, but beyond that, for the figure itself, just dead on. Digging right into accessories, once again, this being a deluxe release, he comes with a decent amount. So right off the bat, we get some effects pieces. So we get this little flame piece, which is the flame thrower on his arm. So you can see his gauntlet right there, and this plugs right in to that. I'll try and keep this in frame. There we go. So plugs right in, super sturdy. Then we have the two blast effects, or like a kind of fire coming out of the rockets, which plug right into the backpack. So you can put those right there. You can see the little port right there at the end, and there's a little nub with a protrusion there, and they plug right in nice and easy and don't come out at all. So there's those. Going further on the backpack, we also get the rocket, which we didn't see in action on screen until this last season of The Mandalorian, and it was glorious. And there we go. So there's the complete backpack. And beyond that, we also get his grappling hook that he used in Return of the Jedi, and that just has this little arm piece right here, and that attaches right to the wrist. So to the right wrist in this case, because that's the one it comes out of. And then of course we get his signature blaster. Really well done. Nice dry brush on there with the brown, black plastic. And then finally, we also get the same blaster separated right after it was hit with Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. So as you can see, there's also a port on it, and there's a peg on the barrel, and those plug together, so you can actually have it separated or together, which I thought was a really fantastic touch. So, glorious accessories. Moving along to articulation, and Boba Fett has a lot of it, so let's not waste any time and jump right into this. Going from top to bottom as we always do. First thing we have is his rangefinder, which comes right over the eye. Then we have two ball joints. We have one under the head, one in the neck, so we're getting a lot of down. Not too much up. However, I believe Robo from the Foosh had pointed out that you can see this line or the seam in the front of the neck. If you turn that around to the back, you're going to get all your up. I haven't been brave enough to do that yet, but just keep that in mind. Moving on down, under this whole armor piece is actually flexible, so it doesn't really get in the way. We do have a little bit of a butterfly joint there, so you get a little bit of movement. It makes more of the difference once you're actually getting into some poses. We get our arms coming up, so we can do a T-pose. Coming down, we actually have a joint right here on both arms. So we have bicep swivel, but then we have the single joint, which also moves around. And then the gauntlet also has swivel. So you get a whole lot of movement in the arm and tons of options there. You also get your hinge and swivel at the wrist. Then moving on to the midsection, but I believe it's a ball joint under there, so you get that whole hula hooping motion. You get some okay forward, a little bit better on the back, coming to the middle, and then you get the hips. You get really nice splits, and then you get your thigh swivel. You get single jointed knees, so you get kind of just past 90. But that also allows you to come side to side just like it does with the elbows. Coming down here, and then we get finally to the feet, and the feet, don't force it too much, but we get some nice point. We get some decent forward, and then of course we have our rocker to come to the side, and that will do it for articulation. Rounding things out with some size comparisons, here he is with the rest of what I have for the Star Wars Black Series. Here he is with some other random Hasbro stuff. Here he is with some Storm collectibles and some SH figure arts. Here he is with various aliens and monsters. And finally here he is with an Articulated Icons Oni and yours truly as an Articulated Icons Ninja. So my final thoughts on Star Wars Black Series Return of the Jedi Boba Fett. Absolutely fantastic figure. Hands down my favorite Boba Fett figure since the Power of the Force one from way back in the 90s, which I know is a 5 POA and completely different deal. However, just in terms of a fun factor, this is just spot on for me. And for me, that this is the Boba Fett figure in my collection. I don't feel like I need any more unless I end up seeing one that just somehow tops this. But for now, this is it for me. It's the only one I need. If you collect Black Series, if you like Return of the Jedi, if you're just collecting Star Wars stuff in general, if you're a Boba Fett fan, absolutely pick this up if you can. I believe it's still up at Big Bad Toy Store. I know they're showing up on shelves in Targets and Walmarts, I think. So you might find this one in the wild, maybe not. So I'll link to the places that I can find online that have it, so you have options. And yeah, I guess that's all I got to say on it. So thank you so much for sticking with me with this review. I hope you enjoyed it and found it informative. And if you did, please consider leaving a like, a comment, subscribing, and sharing if you liked it. And yeah, I'll hope to see you in the next video. If you want to help any more, I'll have other ways to help in the description as well. And yeah, I guess that's all I got to say. So thank you so much again for watching. Take care of yourself, take care of those around you, and most importantly, stay weird, simians.